trouble with a potential fight coming up. Demetrius Andrade, he said it's most likely next. I think he said Vegas or California. The fight hype said that Munguia pulled out the last minute. Obviously, with Munguia, they were searching for money. I think this might be the first legit opponent he really done fought for real. Caleb Plant, solid fighter, but nobody really gave Caleb Plant a chance at that point, seeing what Canelo did to him. Demetrius Andrade finally getting the opportunity. How hungry is he? I mean, compared to other parts of his career, he's fairly more active. I do think David Benavidez could be on upset alert. I had to relook at the film. It's one of those fights that I look at the film. I didn't see Andrade's last fight versus Desmond Nicholson. But one thing kind of working against him is that he may not be acclimated at the weight perfectly. But what he 33, 34 years old, around the same age as Bud and Gary Russell. So I mean, shit, it can't do nothing but help. But just a real, it's gonna be interesting, man. He one of them guys that ain't never been challenged. I mean, Benavidez in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's understandable. He can't get nobody in the ring with him. The Plant fight was kind of a breakthrough to get in the ring with him. But Demetrius Andrade been in boxing probably well over 10 years as far as a professional, and not being that, not having that fight. I mean, pulling out with Jamel, not getting that elite level fight that he'd be looking for, to be real. To me, that's a pro. I mean, this is opportunity, and I think we get an opportunity to see him hopefully at his best. And one thing that kind of should concern Benavidez. One thing about Andrade, he a fast starter. See how he played it against Caleb Plant is a little bit different. I heard him say, "Well, this is like the Caleb Plant fight." I don't think so. I think you're dealing with a dude who's naturally bigger than Caleb Plant, naturally stronger than Caleb Plant, and naturally better puncher than Caleb Plant. I think he might be a little bit rangier than Caleb Plant. I might have around the same reach, but Andrade like to come out and set the tone. Andrade like to come out and punch you right in the mouth to let you know that I can punch. And you can't just walk in here without paying the price. And a lot of guys that fight punchers, they don't do that. That's what Andre Ward was doing to Kovalev. And I think the best thing, it's going to sound stupid, that could have happened to Andre Ward was him getting hit by Kovalev's best punch in the straight right. And he walked right into the straight right. He was able to get off the canvas, and then it was like that, Now you telling a guy who ain't lost the amateur fight since he was, 12 years old, okay, you can't lose another round. And all that did was, it made him more focused. Some people you put in a deficit. Some people you put an immense amount of pressure on. Some people the stakes is at the highest and they rise to the occasion. It ain't even, it's what they call it, an innate ability. You ain't even thinking about it. Because those type of people have the ability to take it a round at a time, or an hour at a time, or a week at a time, or a day at a time. And they're able to put, minutes into hours. They're able to put hours into days, and days into weeks, and weeks into months, and those amount of people are able to, I won the first minute, the second, I won a round, let's put another round together, let's put another round. So some people you put in that category where the more pressure and the more they got to rise to the occasion. And Andre Ward, I mean, it wasn't a place that he wasn't familiar with. He had been dropped down by Edison Miranda. I think it was Edison Miranda that dropped him. I mean, he had been perfect for so long, without losing. So, and he came back and swept that fight for the most part. He dug deep. Some guys get hit with something they don't like, and they just say, you know what? I don't want to get knocked out. I don't want to get embarrassed. I'm going to just go ahead and try to get a moral victory. And some guys say, okay, I'm going to get back in there. And that's something you got to learn about. You got to learn about Benavidez. And I'm not sure this fight gonna tell you. Gotta learn about Demetrius Andrade in his mid-30s, which is, it's just a product of not the system beating Demetrius Andrade down. It's a mixture of that, but it's also a mixture of Demetrius Andrade not wanting to a bad business decision. That's why they tell you not to mix your monies with your honeys, not to mix your money with your family. They tell people that. Let your daddy be your daddy. Go find somebody you can trust. You know, a lot of these daddies want to be so hands-on and shit, and that's the word about him. But he gonna come out there and set that tone versus Benavidez, or at least he gonna try to set that tone versus Benavidez. And you know, and we gonna see. We gonna see. But he one of those dudes that like to come on the front foot, then he'll box and all that, and I think you gonna have to see the best Demetrius Andrade out there. Now some of the fights that fell apart, like the Billy Joe Saunders fight, it wasn't his fault. But I like what Greg Hackett said. The only thing that's standing between him and feeding his family, for generations, and fight Canelo is David Benavidez. So, I think, at this point, we got to say, let's Father Time catch up to him. We got to be getting the best Demetrius Andrade, the most focused Demetrius Andrade. And I don't think anybody is going to, dispute this line. He's more talented than Benavidez from a boxing standpoint of view, but we got weight classes for a reason. Benavidez do got talent. He got speed, hand speed, power. But then again, he getting in there with a southpaw. He says it's going to be the same with Caleb Plant. Either once they feel my power, they're going to run. He got to understand it's resistance. Now you moving up. And Andrade might feel his power and get knocked out quick. That's a high possibility. That's a high possibility. But Andrade then probably seen that style so many times where a guy's coming straight down the pipe. It's really gonna boil down to his conditioning, and it's really gonna boil down to, is he still prime? But if his conditioning good and he's still prime, it's gonna be. I think Benavidez don't want to get down any rounds versus Demetrius Andrade. Trust and believe me, he don't want to be down any rounds versus Demetrius Andrade. Trust and believe me, he don't want to be down any rounds versus Demetrius Andrade. I don't think that. Andrade started putting rounds together. He's gonna be hard to get out of there. He's gonna be starting to press, and Andrade will walk him some. So it's a dangerous fight. But I think all the fights he had on the table, not named Munguia, was dangerous. If the fights was Munguia, Andrade, Morrell, all of them was dangerous. I think Morrell just as dangerous as Andrade, because he just as big, strong, and powerful. And there's a lot of people in boxing that believe Morrell will beat David Benavidez. Not saying I'm on that fence. I've seen Morrell fight in spots, but it wouldn't completely surprise me, but don't too much in boxing surprise me no more. But with Andrade, this is shining moment. You got a hungry fighter in Andrade here, and if Benavidez is able to get past him, it's just part of the process that he need to grow, being the fighter he need to be. And a lot of people say, well, Benavidez is just a weight bully. That's why he beat guys up. He ain't skilled. He just power got me. Shit, he get down to the weight. And now Andrade get to be put on the pedestal, and get the right as wrongs. It took Terrence Crawford a ways to get to the Errol Spence fight, but with Terrence Crawford, he was able to get, build up or accumulate accolades. He was already pound for pound king already. Pretty sure he probably was already fighter of the year. He was undisputed, 2-time lineal world title holder, or champion. He was a lineal champion in 2 weight classes. He had already had a belt at welterweight that stopped everybody. He was decorated. Andrade decorated his Christmas tree with what? Shit from the amateurs, sparring stories. It's probably the best fight he still fought to today was Vanes Monterrosa. He got off the canvas and had, he got beat off the canvas and beat the shit out of him. I think it was more their feet kind of tangling up, but hey. So that's still probably the most celebrated fight I could put him in. So we might be able to see a more full-fledged Demetrius Andrade, and I think he's going to use every weapon in his arsenal. I think he'll have to use every weapon in his arsenal to to carry out the mission. But I think Benavidez is for sure on upset alert. I think he for sure on upset alert. I think he for sure. It's a dangerous fight. If he think this is gonna be like Caleb Plant, I think he gonna be sadly mistaken. He better not sit there and the game plan may not be sitting there and then, just still in the early rounds. Caleb Plant is a classic front runner. He let Andrade get into a boxing groove. The difference between Andrade and Plant, Andrade throwing to hurt. At least early on, he throwing to hurt your ass. So, when we finally get to see Andrade, I mean, all his peers passed him up. I mean, shit, even Gary Russell did just as much as he has. Well, I think Andrade did have a title at 2 different weight classes. But everybody else, Crawford, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Sean Porter as far as, just popularity. The Charlo twins. So, we'll see. And I think he got a Canelo Alvarez fight that could be hanging in the balance. So, he has southpaw, too. That's why a lot of people scared away too. So his lack of business IQ, from what I hear, he a southpaw, he a big guy, rangy guy. Who I'm picking in this fight, my fandom is with. I like them both, but my fandom is with Andrade. I've been an Andrade fan longer, but I gotta look at the film to really give y'all a definitive answer. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere. Peace.